Yeah. Well, I guess we always talk about different phases of season. It seems like now it's obviously a way different phase now that you go into league play where everybody knows everybody and preparation's different. What's the mindset going in this?
We're just excited, obviously. Put to bed our non-conference. Had a couple days off, which we don't always at this time. We usually play over Christmas Day, so I had a couple days off to recharge and getting back after it today and getting ready for a big game Saturday. But I think a lot of what you just said, playing in tournament play, conference play is a grind. The games we've seen recently, the caliber of teams, the competition, it's been a grind, and teams know each other because they're watching us in live action in tournament play, and that's what you'll see moving forward in conference play. And so we're excited about that. Our conference is off to a good start. We got to, like I said, after the game, make a jump and continue to get better, and certainly get better in this stretch before Saturday.
You always talk about the separation of the season within the season, and so as you get into this second part of the season, what do you feel this team learned about itself in that first part that's going to help them moving forward?
Well, that's important. Even through the ups and downs, you got to learn. You got a better feel for yourself, and perspectives, everything. So, I think overall, solid job. There's obviously things we'd like to have back, and that's part of the growth. You can't get them back. We don't want them back. You got to learn from it. And so, I think we, go thinking about where we were to start the year. Juan, you forget because Juan was on like a minutes restriction. Now he's basically broken through and he's in his next phases. We had some guys who hadn't played significant minutes at the Division I level that were capable, just needed reps, rotation. We're still looking at that though. I think we have a better idea of where we're at, but we're still going to tinker a little bit and obviously trying to find the consistency. And so we do a lot of that, like we say, the mile, lap 1, lap 2, lap 3, lap 4. We're still not there yet. We're going to meet individually, meet collectively, and continue to find ways to improve.
How much of a challenge is it when you talk about one, the minute restrictions being off? You got a handful of post players that want their minutes. I mean, how much of a challenge does that become in making sure they're using them properly and not letting them sit on the bench?
Yeah, it's been unique because we say you have that challenge going in, and then at the same time you have Juan was on a different level. Now he's back in the mix where everybody, and that's the good thing about perspective too. Here we are going into the start of conference play, and we have a way better feel for our team and rotation, and have a better idea of what we can and can't do and which combinations work together best. I think that's probably been more unique this year is while we have different guys we can go to, there's certain combinations that have to happen with certain guys. But we're still messing around a little bit with that, and we're still looking at that in the next couple of weeks of practice and moving forward. But like I said, the good thing is not just that we're healthy going in. Obviously Javon had a little something at the end of the game, but he's healthier going into this stretch, and that's the positive. And compared to where we were at the beginning of the year, there's an idea of where we thought we'd be, and there was a little bit unknown and how maybe Juan would handle things or some other guys, first-year guys. But we're certainly in a better place now than we were going in.
You talk about the rotation and trying to find what works together. Talk about Matt and kind of how he's come on and the weekend he had this past weekend in the Diamond and kind of what you've seen from him as a player.
Well, like with our team, you could see the flashes, and with Matt, you can see the flashes. The question here, we're at now at a point where we got to go from flashes to consistency, and that's going to be the separator, especially with what we're trying to do in conference and the way our conferences come out of the gate. So, I think to answer your questions too about rotations, right now we need to find that consistency from each guy. But Matt gives us a guy who is a really good shooter. He can attack the rim. He's getting comfortable. We need to be one of our better defenders, obviously, as well. And so, I think you talked about our bigs. There's good depth there with Harry and Justin at the 4, and Moore and Bernardo at the 5, and hopefully this week too. We don't have we didn't have guys put academics to bed with finals and all that, and we still but we still had games to play, and so now we can get a little more skill work, individual work to continue to improve. You can make jumps during the year too, not just as a team. You can make jumps individually, and so that's what we're looking forward to see.
I think you talk about people going through steps and everything. It seems like Matt went through steps at accelerated pace because he went from not playing at all last year to feeling better, and I guess what he didn't feel fully healthy until the summertime. So the fact that he was able to pick it up and get health-wise and stamina, is that
yeah, I mean, that's what we said before the year. There's some things like there are guys who, and we've had success with Division I transfers, good players playing on good programs, playing behind good players, and in his case, maybe guys that played limited minutes. In Matt's case, he didn't play last year. So sometimes it's just like Juan's case coming in this year. Well, he ended up not playing for basically 3 years. So it's not just there's a mental and physical component to the recovery, and then there's a rhythm you got to find. And so that's why I say at the end of the day, perspective, we're in a better place with that from all our guys. Justin had to go from playing, limited minutes behind some players to playing the leading role. And then as you get comfortable for him or others, then you got to play. We got to be able to play off of you, not just playing heavier minutes, but we can play through you. Those are phases you have to go through, and we have to go through. So I think in that regard, like I said earlier, we're in a better place today than we were at the start of the year.
So you said Javon is going to be back in the lineup. He's
Yeah, from what I've heard, and we'll see him again today. I know Javon. I know he's going to always try to soldier through and tough, but I also know about the short and the long term, and we could see his limitation at that point, and so we wanted to play it smart. And so hopefully the other guys who had to fill a role will be better for it as we move forward.
Well, yeah. Even before the injury, Ryan got a lot of minutes in this tournament. Was that a result of his performance during practice, or matchup-wise, or both?
Well, we usually try to reward guys for their performance in practice. Sometimes it doesn't happen because maybe they're all practicing well, and we are playing 9 guys consistently 10 minutes a game. So, and I do think there's some guys. I keep telling our staff there. We say it a lot. Like, good things happen to those who stay ready, not those who wait. If you wait, you're waiting for things to happen for you. You got to have force and initiative and put yourself in position and continue to be prepared. And I think there are going to be guys like him that are going to help us win games. Matia's got to stay ready. Akira's got to stay ready. It is a long season. It is a grind. Every team's going through it. The ups and downs. There could be a guy foul out. There could be a guy injured. And if the guys next aren't ready, well, you won't be very good, and we won't be very good. And I think over the years we've had a next man, every man mentality. It's just, right now we haven't really needed that, fortunately, because some of our health has been solid, which I hope continues. But you're going to continue. You have to continue to stay ready, and I thought he showed flashes.
When Matt entered the portal, what did you see in him? Because there wasn't a lot of tape or background. Or what,
Well, you
what's
could.
the connection on
Well, it's
him?
not the '60s. You could go back in time and get some. So, no, I think for him, he comes from, like I said, think about the guys, Jenks and Jack Purchase and Noah Allen and Kamaka Hepa and Jerome DeRosier, guys who've transferred here who've had great success. They've all come from great programs, and you could see the flashes if they had more reps, right? So Matt Cotton is an example too. He comes from Yale. Yale's been in 2 of the last 3 NCAA tournament teams. The year before, he played a role for them on a tournament team, a starter who could shoot and get to the rim and things like that. The difficult thing was he didn't play for a year. We understood that there was going to be and that's why the Japan trip was good, even though, there are ups and downs in the whole thing, but there's nothing like reps and experience. So, and then that's what you've seen. You've seen flashes since from that. He had a 20-point game. He's had a couple double-figure games. I think, with all of them, continue to prepare like the best is yet to come. But to answer your question simply is, to be an impactful player on a tournament team for a staff we have great respect for, that's been a good blueprint for us.
Do you think, like with Jerome, these Ivy League guys, that they have not just high IQs, period, but high IQ basketball-wise. So do you think he brings that as well, cerebral approach? I know you got smart players already, but
Yeah, I know. It's interesting. They're not always all the same. From the surface, the similarities are, comes from an Ivy League program. Both came from great programs, right? And so the fit, though, the character fit is significant too. Obviously they're very low maintenance academically. All our guys are. They're incredible in the community. They fit Hawaii because of how special their character is. And again, the big thing is they've come from great programs. They know what it's like, and hopefully that experience can help us. Jerome was significant for us. He was an all-conference player for us. He's been on a 20-win Princeton team, and was playing behind some guys. Both those guys had significant roles, but they were also playing behind some guys, and both those guys can and have been impactful for us.
So knowing the 4-year limitations on Ivy League players, is that some area that now you want to continually look at?
Well, we all will. I think that, you always have to adjust to the landscape of the rules, and obviously some of the Ivy League guys, they don't have that opportunity to come back for a year there. And we've had success with those guys. So, and they fit really well with what we're trying to do in every way, on the court, off the court, in the classroom with Hawaii. Jerome's still here. He won't leave. So, no, it's a special place and it's been a special fit. And obviously, we will continue to look at, the transfer situations and fit, and certainly the Ivy League.
Going back to Fullerton, I know they've given you guys problems in the past. It's been a pretty heated rivalry. In particular, I know they like to extend their defense, push you guys out of the perimeter, make you uncomfortable. So is that something you guys are constantly trying to solve?
Yeah, and it's good to have some time to do that, and it's good to play the teams we've played recently, to be honest, as well. So we've seen, here we are like we talked about, we're non-conference better play, but we've also seen man, zone, press, small, big, at times the biggest teams, pressure, half pressure, soft pressure. All those things will prepare us for what we'll see in conference, because you'll see a little bit of everything. But even last year we played Fullerton 3 one-possession games, and basically all games were defensive battles. And so, hopefully, and you'll see it again on Saturday. They obviously do a good job switching defensively to make it tough for you to get in the cracks. They do a good job getting to the line, forcing pressure on the rim, and they play really hard, and they've gotten better and better. So, we're looking forward to the challenge on Saturday.
Does it mean anything extra? These guys ended your season last year, and then you guys get to open up a conference slate with them. Does that? I know every conference game means equal, but does that add a little extra here to open up your 2024
I mean, I think
slate?
if your natural motivation is your inner desire to be great individually and collectively. So there's a difference between using that as your sole motivation and using it as an added bonus. So I agree with what you just said. We have individually and collectively should have a natural desire, a genuine desire to be the best we can be every day, every game. And then we'll use any extra fuel we can to add to that, not to be the sole purpose of it. That's the balance that you have to find.
Thank you so much.